Xiaomi just built the EV that Apple couldn't. Hello everyone and welcome back to the China EV show. I'm your host Toby as usual, and don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe before we get started. It helps the channel a lot. Recently we saw a big move in the Chinese EV industry, which is Xiaomi releasing its first EV. But not only that, in 3 years after announcing its intention to do so, it brought a car to the market. The Su7 or Su7 as it's known was released just last week, starting at a price of 215,000 yuan. That's under 28,000 euros. And people had big expectations for this car. And Xiaomi's first EV was surprisingly good. Good spec, good tech, and for a very, very good price. In a launch event that was very typical of something that Apple would do, the brand listed off all the ways its Su7 was better than its competitor Tesla's Model Y and Model 3. What do you think of the Su7? Make sure you let us know in the comments below. But this is not just another China EV. Of course, we get plenty of those. No, this is something different. This is a milestone. And let me tell you why. Xiaomi is kind of like the equivalent of the Chinese Apple, but in fact, Xiaomi got started by copying many of Apple's first products. But now the student has become the master. Shortly after Apple abandoned its autonomous drive plans, Xiaomi released its EV, which got 100,000 orders in its first week of sales. And now you'll need to wait 5 months if you want to get one, which in China is a very long time. So why is Xiaomi making EVs and why is this so important? Firstly, and most importantly, Xiaomi hopes to redefine car ownership. With a firm grip on China's and indeed some global electronics markets, it brings a unique advantage to the table, seamlessly integrating its connected car with its home appliances. Something like a Siri or an Alexa, but your car is also included in this package. So it doesn't just stop at your front door. So for example, you could be heading out in a few minutes and say, hey Xiaomi, please turn on the air conditioner in the car to 25 degrees, turn the heating seats on, and then everything will be ready when you get in your car. And vice versa, when you're driving home in your Xiaomi car, you can say to your Xiaomi robot, sweep the floors quickly please, or you can turn the air fryer on, or you could get the heating on so it's nice and warm when you arrive back. So this kind of like seamless integration between home and vehicle. Of course, this is dependent on you owning a lot of Xiaomi stuff, in fact, everything Xiaomi, but the idea is very interesting. Secondly, it's proof of tech companies' strengths in manufacturing and supply resources. They think like a tech company, not a traditional auto company, and that is a good thing. Not only did Xiaomi bring its first EV to market in 3 years, as I mentioned, but the results were surprisingly good. But while I will say the spec sheet for the Su7 was impressive, I think time and customer reviews will tell whether this car is a success or not. But more importantly, following Xiaomi's success, will we see more tech companies try to do the same thing? We have seen Chinese smartphone maker Huawei having huge success in the EV sector with its Aito brand, a JV with Seres, whose M7 is actually the 4th best-selling EV this year. So it's clear these tech companies have an advantage when it comes to EVs. The only question is, who will be the next company to bring out an EV? I think another thing we really need to highlight is that it only took 3 years for Xiaomi to bring out its first EV from announcing it would do so, which underscores the lightning speed of the EV industry here in China. And with $10 billion planned over the next decade, Xiaomi actually hopes to become one of the top 5 automakers in the world. I think this once again reiterates the China speed we see here and the fact that there is this huge difference. Can you imagine Apple announcing that it will produce a car and then 3 years later actually bringing one to the market? It's absolutely unfathomable. So again, it underlines these differences between what can be done so fast in China versus the rest of the world. So why did Xiaomi make an EV? Well, of course, there is a good enough reason for this. Xiaomi sees the auto industry as the next frontier. In fact, the auto market is 10 times bigger than that of smartphones. And of course, if you can have a fully integrated home and vehicle experience, Xiaomi want to be the one to bring it to you. And did Apple make a huge mistake by dropping its Project Titan? I think so, and I think they will actually revisit the EV market in a few years. But make sure you let us know what you think in the comments below. Let's finish today with a quote from Xiaomi's founder and CEO who spoke about this decision by Apple. During the launch, he famously said, "If I were Tim Cook, I would have never done that. He may just be right." Okay, that's it for today, folks. Make sure you leave your comments and give us a like and a subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Toby, and I'll see you next time on the China EV Show.